Okay, so what I'd like to talk about now is hair, one of the accessory structures of the skin. And so I'd like to begin by actually going to some pictures from your textbook that can help explain some of these different parts. Okay, so first of all, if we're looking at the hair, here we've got this inside portion in brown, which is the hair. Down here at the bottom, this kind of expanded end is going to be the hair bulb, okay? And so from this bottom to about midway up is going to be what we call the hair root, okay? Down here at the bottom, much like the skin is produced, the hair is produced similarly, where the bulb has some basal cells that make daughters, and then as those daughters get pushed up, they get packed with keratin, and then about halfway up or so, that keratin causes them to lose all their water, dehydrate, and die. And so then from about halfway up out to the portion that you actually see when you see hair on the surface of the skin, that is called the hair shaft. Okay. And then in purple and a little bit in blue, what you notice is all this tissue surrounding the hair, and that's called the hair follicle. Okay. So again, if we go down here a little bit more, here's our hair bulb. Okay, each hair bulb sits on top of this thing called a hair papilla. That's going to have connective tissue, nerves, and blood vessels, so that's going to be what's going to supply blood to this basal layer of cells, supplies those nutrients to those cells. Please keep in mind that hair does not have blood vessels in it, so those basal cells have to get that blood from somewhere. Okay. And also keep in mind that this bottom layer, again, is producing those daughter cells that get pushed up, okay? And they get pushed up, 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 up. And so whenever you look at this hair coming out of your head and you think how lovely it is, just remember it's all dead cells, okay? If we notice hair here, if it happens to be a daughter cell, that's made closer to the middle, then it's going to form what's called the matrix and then the medulla of the hair, this middle portion. If it's a little bit more to the sides, it forms the cortex of the hair, okay, here and here. And then the cuticle is the last layer of hair. So cuticle is a rather tough layer there, and it keeps things from getting into the hair. Here we've taken the hair. If this is our hair going up, we're now looking at it dead on this way. Okay, I guess I could take my own hair. This image right here is looking at my hair as if it was standing up like this. And now if we're going up to this image over here, we've taken my hair and we're looking at it straight on, so going this way. Okay, and so here we can see that that inner layer is going to be the medulla. This next layer is the cortex, and then finally we have the cuticle. Okay, so if I'm touching my hair, I'm touching my cuticle most of the time, unless I have split ends or something like that, or damage to my hair. All of this epithelial tissue surrounding it, we have an internal root sheath, an external root sheath, glassy membrane, and then a connective tissue sheath. So this is just part of the follicle structure that helps encase that hair on its way through the dermis and epidermis. Okay. And you may notice that really most of this tissue that's surrounding the hair, even though the bulk of the hair extends down deep into this reticular layer, most of the tissue surrounding the hair is of epithelial origin, and so that's why it looks like this epithelial tissue is diving down deep. That's because it is. Okay. Hair color, you get melanin production down here in this matrix area. That's going to be part of giving hair its color. And whenever you dye hair, you're using chemicals to break the cuticle and send that dye in deep to the cortex and the medulla. Okay, so that is hair.